Welcome to Study Loop.
If you're able to, one way to answer this question is graphically. So if you were to go to Decimals or your graphing calculator, you are asked to first find the points of intersection of y equals x squared, that parabola, and y equals x plus 2, that linear line. And so the points of intersection are -1, 1, and 2, 4. You just have to enter them with the smallest x value first. So -1, 1, and 2, 4. Now, if you can't use your graphing calculator, then what you would do is like a substitution. Substitute x plus 2 for y. So x plus 2 equals x squared, and then 0 equals x squared minus x plus minus 2. If you're familiar, if you've been working with quadratics, then maybe you were supposed to be doing it by hand, which then this is factorable. It multiplies to -2 and adds to -1. That would be a -2 and a +1. Which means x minus 2 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0, or x equals 2 and x equals -1. Notice the x equals 2 and x equals -1. How do you find the y's that go with it? Well, when x is -1, then you substitute that into y, like y equals -1 squared, which is +1. Y equals x squared, so if x is 2, then y equals 2 squared, or 4. Next one. Points of intersection with the circle x squared plus y squared equals 25. And the line 2y equals 5 minus x. -3, 4, and 5, 0. -3, 4, and 5. Oh, -3, 4, and 5, 0. By hand, if you had to do this by hand, then you could say like x equals 5 minus 2y and substitute this um, for x. So that becomes 5 minus 2y squared plus y squared equals 25. 5 minus 2y squared is 25 minus 10y plus 4y squared. And then we've got 25 minus 10y plus 5y squared equals 25. Or in descending order, 5y squared minus 10y equals 0 when you subtract 25 to both sides. You can factor a 5y from each, left with y minus 2, which would mean 5y equals 0 and y minus 2 equals 0 by their factors. And so y equals 0 and y equals 2, which we saw yeah. Something went wrong. Oh, silly mistake. When you're doing shortcuts, you gotta be careful. This isn't minus 10y, it's minus 20y. You can write it out twice and figure it out. 5 minus 2y times 5 minus 2y. Which then this is going to be not even 10, but 4. So it's 0 and 4, which we see for our y values. And the x's that go with them, you can substitute 0 and 4 for y into this version. If y is 0, then x is 5, and if y is 4, then x is -3.